All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Cory.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage.
I try to do that different every week.
You're very dramatic with it. I like it.
Sometimes I do not today.
What do they call that? Not
Jazz
Hollywood.
hands.
Be like Broadway?
Jazz hands.
The Broadway entrance?
I don't know.
All right. Today we're going to talk about sourcing or...
The lack thereof.
No, we did. We sourced twice this week, which is one more time than we usually source in a week. And we came home virtually empty-handed, but we're going to talk about why that's actually okay. So stick around. We do have a bunch to pack, as been the trend lately.
We do. I packed. Cory was busy doing his stereo view listings last night because we had to go to a private estate sale yesterday. So I came out and I packed up our dollar auction things and then our stuff from Grams and Pops Vintage too.
Yep. And I've already got all the stuff from the Ephemera Store packed up. So
this morning.
And that doesn't even equal up to a quarter of it.
Like, no, we have 38 packages going out today just on
from the main store.
The main store.
Yeah. So let's get to it. What's the first thing sold?
We sold a calculator. Calculator. I don't know why that.
Oh, the old standard. We still look for these when we find them.
That did not last long. Like seriously, like I listed it and it was gone within an hour.
Yep. These TI-84s.
But there's so many listed. Like why are they not buying the ones that I don't know? But
they sell fast.
This is a TI-84 Plus black and gray graphing calculator. It is tested and working. No batteries included, but it sold for $49.99.
Yep. So if you can pick them up cheap, they still sell. No big secret there. That's been out for a while. Next thing we got is a Bop It.
Okay, so I was testing that thing while I was trying to list it just to make sure that it works properly, but I can tell you I suck at Bop It, including Bop It Extreme, which is what this is.
Yep, so not really an old person game.
No, you gotta have agility to play this thing. But this is actually the 1998 Bop It Extreme black handheld electronic game. It does work, no batteries are included, but we picked it up for $2 at a local garage sale, and it sold for $24.99. Within less than a week.
We didn't mention that in our packing because we don't have to pack it, but we did make about $140 worth of book sales on Amazon this week too, which is, after all the trouble to get those into Amazon this time, it's good to see they're actually in stock and starting to sell.
Yeah, because we suck at sending them in.
All right, so we did have some sourcing struggles this week. We went twice, like we said. We actually did an in-person auction, like a live auction. We got up at a decent time. We got there just as the auction was starting, and we kind of make a full round to go look at everything they're going to auction off.
Yep. Before we got a number this time. Typically, well, we might have jinxed ourselves because typically we go get a number and then we'll look at it.
But we usually get there earlier.
Yes, we did not.
This time the auction had just started, so we went ahead and did our rounds to see what we might want to buy before we went and got a number. Unfortunately, after going through everything they had at the auction,
it was all like...
It was horrible.
It was
like garden tools and stuff.
It was garden tools and outdoor stuff, and
it's like somebody was auctioning off what they had in their outdoor shop.
In their outdoor shed.
Yeah, and not to say you can't find good stuff in the shop, but there just wasn't any there. It was all old rusty stuff that's just not the kind of stuff we sell. Probably, I mean, if I was gonna plant a garden next year, maybe we could have got some things for cheap.
But yeah, it was not good. I mean, even the amount of cars that were there, a lot of the cars that were up front are employee cars because it's a pretty decent sized auction company that does it. But yeah, there was not a whole lot of people there. But I didn't see pictures beforehand either. I just read their description.
Usually the live auctions will take a whole bunch of pictures, just like an estate sale, to get people there. This one was not well advertised and not well attended, and I guess that's okay because they didn't have a lot of decent stuff. Though I do think they were going to auction off the land and the house and stuff too.
They did have a car and a tractor.
Yeah, so there was some stuff there for other people, just not for us.
No. So that's what we did Saturday morning. We got up early and went there at it started at 10. We got there about 10:05, roughly. But then on Saturday, we got a message from a friend of ours about somebody that had just had an estate sale and wanted to know if he invited him to come over and look through the stuff, and he in turn invited us to come over and look at the stuff to see if there was anything in there that we would want to sell.
Now, the estate sale actually wasn't like a normal estate sale. It wasn't by a big company. It was a private estate sale that somebody had for an estate they knew.
Yep, they were helping somebody out with their estate sale.
So we figured it would definitely be worth looking through, and we went and did that. And it was after the estate sale had already been done and everything, like she said. We didn't find a lot there. There was a lot of smalls, but there was not a lot of stuff that, like, we were being pretty picky.
Yeah, I think we walked away with 2 pins, 2 necklaces, that's 4, the little pulley puller.
A clock for ourselves.
and then my Christmas thing, and that coffee pot. So we walked away with like 8 things. It cost us $25 to do it.
Yeah, but we did pick out a few things, but it was very few, and probably 2 or 3 of them were for our own use. They weren't for resale, so it wasn't great. So we came home after 2 sourcing trips. We usually only do 1 a week.
Yep.
We came home after 2 sourcing trips pretty much with an empty car.
Yep.
Which is very much in contrast to what we usually do. We come home with a full car.
Yep. I did give the guy advice because, like I said, he's just helping a guy out, helping a friend out, whatever. But a lot of the stuff that he had left was clear glass.
A ton of the stuff was clear glass.
And I know some resellers are going to cringe with it, but I suggested to him, which is what I do with some of my auction stuff that's in my totes, is we know a lady that works at a smash room. And so I just said, hey, reach out to her. You know, she'll either take it or she'll give you, you know, a small dollar amount for it. They can use it in the smash room and whatnot. But
it's as good a recycling method as any.
We looked at buying, we didn't really, I mean, we did. We hemmed and hawed about it on the way home, but they had this fantastic grandfather clock.
The thing was huge.
It was so beautiful.
It was a really cool grandfather clock. Like it took up about.
It
was like 4 feet wide. And
give or take.
Probably a little taller than me, probably 6 foot tall.
Yep.
It was really cool. I would have loved to have had it. And I think we could have got it at a really good price.
We could have. They had $1,000 on it. But the piece of it that I liked about it was it wasn't just those basic, I want to say basic B's, basic B grandfather clock. But it had this cool thing around the bottom that was like where you could put,
Would you
I don't
call
know
that
what.
one a granddaddy clock?
No. Granddaddy.
It was a cool clock, but
was.
we passed on it. We didn't really need it. It would have been for our own personal, for in the house. We weren't really there to buy that. Now, I will say, becoming picky has made sourcing difficult.
Cory's always been picky. Don't get me wrong. He's always been picky.
We have become ultra picky, and I have made her picky, which makes it very hard to come home. Sometimes we come home empty-handed, but our business has never done better.
Nope.
Like, literally, has it? In 4 years, I don't think we've ever done better.
No.
So being
I'm
picky,
agreeing with you, just so you know.
This is a rare moment. Let's take a moment of silence.
Shut up.
Being picky has helped a lot.
It has. I have been, so I will say, you know, I still do my auctions Monday or Sunday and Wednesday, but I used to get like 30 things. Yeah. Now I get like 5 to 8.
Yeah. So we're getting very picky. So it's quality over quantity for us, and it has paid off. Our business, we've never done better in our 90-day sales. Like they're well above what they've ever been for us. We're on our way to our actual goal, which is great. And it's working. So even though we're getting less inventory, we're getting really good inventory. Yep. Maybe we only come home with 2 things, but we come home with 2 things that are worth 1,000 rather than a carload that's worth 500, 600, 800.
Yep. But I will say there's a guy in a town about an hour from us. So everybody knows we did our Star Wars buy, right?
Yep.
There's a guy about an hour from us that has a gigantic collection of Star Wars that I thought about reaching out to.
Ugh.
to see what he truly wants for it.
We are getting to the bottom of the Star Wars buy. We're not there yet, but we're getting close to having it all listed, and we are well into the profit already.
I will tell you, so if everybody remembers, we paid $1,500.
Yep.
That's gas included in everything. But I went through and I've looked at where I'm at on my spreadsheet of where we put it in, and I am up to over 1,000 items. And that's not even including everything else that's in there or the stuff that we've sold on our auction site.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure we paid I wouldn't say $1 a thing, but pretty close to $1 a thing
it ends up
for
pretty
each
close
one of
to,
those items.
Yeah, I'll bet it ends up pretty close to $1 a piece.
Yeah, it's insane. But we're doing good. We're well over double what we paid for it.
Yep.
So I just had to throw that in there too. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but
yay us. All right, let's look at what sold next.
We sold a dryer knob. Speaking of free stuff and cheap stuff, we sold the dryer knob.
It literally is a dryer knob.
It is a Robertshaw Whirlpool replacement timer knob. It is silver.
How do you lose one of those? Why would you ever need
Well,
one?
but it might have broke or
stripped out or something?
Stripped out on the back. I don't know. But anyways, it don't matter because that thing sold for $24.99 for one little knob.
It don't matter, she said.
It don't matter. Okay, the next thing we sold, these I had to fork up. Well, I didn't fork up for. I paid $5 a piece for them. But I had to go in and buy batteries and chargers for them.
Generally speaking, when we find these video cameras, if they're Sony, no question, we look them up. Even if they don't work, we will pick them up if we can get them cheap. The JVC cameras like this one, usually, probably 50% of the time, they're not worth picking up.
No. So this is a JVC. I'm not going to go into the model, whatever. It's a JVC. It has a brand new battery, brand new charger. I paid $5 plus the cost of the battery for it, and it sold for $69.99 and only sat for about a week.
All right, so the estate sale pick that we went to,
Yep.
and a few other sourcing things we can talk about here as we go, have happened not because we were out there hunting and searching and treasure hunting. They happened because after 4 years, finally, of just telling everybody that we know what we do. We have friends.
We have friends, kind of.
I
Acquaintances.
don't know if that's true, but we do tell everybody what we do.
We do.
And it's finally starting to pay off because people know what we do and they're calling us and saying, hey, I know you do this. Would you like to come look at this? Mm-hmm. And we've had that kind of come to fruition. It's borne fruit. It has helped us.
It's born fruit.
How do you want to say that?
It's spawned fruit.
Spawned fruit. It has paid off. Finally, after 4 years, it has started to pay off. And we've had people, well, the estate sale was just somebody that knows what we do, reached out and said, would you like to come pick over this estate sale?
Yeah, because typically he does things that are larger.
He does larger things.
He does restaurant buyouts,
and we
like
do
where he'll
smalls.
buy that. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so him. And then I have actually gotten messages on District from people who know that I like to sell watches. I like to rehab watches to the best of my ability. I kind of suck at most of it, but we've gotten messages just saying, hey, I'm listing some watches over here. Are you interested? Here you go.
We just had another reseller that does reselling reach out to me last week and say, hey, I'm getting ready to list a lot of stereo views. I don't want to sort through them. This isn't my thing, but I'm going to put them on District. Are you interested?
Yep.
And I said, yeah, message me when you list them. And the day he listed them, he messaged me and we went in and bought them at a very good price.
Yep.
That'll work for me for my ephemera store. But it took, like, I know when we started this, we used to hear people say, tell everybody what you do and you'll get these opportunities. And we were 3 years in thinking, what a load of crap that is. Like, nobody's calling us to get us inventory.
No.
It took 4 years.
Yep.
Like, it really did take time, but it is starting to pay off.
I will tell you, I am a little bit envious. Is that the right word? Envious? Like,
Maybe.
I'm a huge shed flip fan.
We need a guy.
We need a guy or an Allen.
Maybe.
Oh, no. Guy. They do private picks all the time. And it does make me jealous. Like, I want a private pick.
But look how long they've been doing it.
Yes.
And telling everybody what they do. I do sincerely now kind of see the back end of that conversation where, oh yeah, they weren't full of it like that. I can see if we did this for another 4 years, we would probably have a guy or two guys or a guy A and B.
No, we need a girl.
We need a girl.
We need a Janet.
We need a Janet. So Janet, if you're listening and you have a garage full of collectibles.
Yes, we are interested.
We're interested. Call us.
At reseller prices.
gramsandpopsvintage@gmail.com. Hit us up.
Grams of Pops Vintage on Instagram, Facebook.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, when people know that you're
Yep.
looking for certain types of things, like us with the stereo views and the postcards, and you with watches, like it does start. And I think the more specific of things you're looking for, if you could say, I look for this item, if you say I buy and sell video games,
Yep.
you get known for that and people contact you for that.
Yep.
I think it was much harder when we first started for the first 2-3 years because people would say, well, what do you look for?
Everything. Which I still do. Don't get me wrong. I still look for everything.
We do, but it's very hard to get someone to call you back for everything.
Yep. It is.
So that's been really cool to see that start working out on this end.
Yep.
So don't get discouraged if you're just a year or two into this. Keep telling everybody what you do. And the more specific about what you do you could tell them, the quicker those calls seem to come in, I think.
Yep.
So, all right, let's look at something else sold.
We sold a watch. I paid up for this watch. I did pretty good. I tripled my money.
Oh, that's Black Hills Gold.
But it is. It is a vintage Black Hills Gold Women sterling and gold leaves band. It has a brand new, it's still ticking, right?
Yep.
Has a brand new battery in it. I did pay up for this at a garage sale. I paid $35 for it. Turned around and sold it for $90. So I did take an offer on it, but I'm glad that one's gone.
All right, and we got, as always, a pair of sparkly butt jeans. We've got some Rock Revival. These got to be women's.
They are.
Okay.
I said I don't pick up a whole lot of men's because
We do
there's
when
not
we
a whole
find
lot of
them.
men's. And I try and buy them off people, but they don't sell them to me.
That button's kind of a dead giveaway.
Why? Oh, because it's got bling.
It's a very blingy button.
So these are Rock Revival Women's Kai boot cut embellished medium wash low rise jeans. Paid $5 for them. Sold them for $39.99.
All right, we had a milestone
banger?
setting week, a banger. We had a great weekend this weekend. This weekend was the highest selling weekend for us on the 3D printing stuff since we started doing it.
So a little bit of behind story for one of the items that we sold. He sells trays for his stereo views and for the postcards and that, and we sell the roller for the UPS labels, whatnot. But somebody reached out. They bought our box resizer, our interior box resizer, right? Our box stretcher, and they didn't know how to operate it. So she reached out to us.
I had never considered that would be a problem. Actually, I designed the product to solve one of my problems.
Yep.
So I knew how to use it, and it was very intuitive to me. I never considered that I would need instructions for it. But she's not the only one that has had that question. Like, why would I want this if I could buy the one that you hook over the edge? And because it's different. And when I made that video and put it out, we sold 4 of them almost immediately.
Yep. Within a couple hours, we sold 4 of the box stretchers.
But more importantly, we sold the box trays for the stereo views.
Yep.
We sold some of the look tools that we make.
Yep.
Like we had a really good weekend of printing. Well, a really good / bad weekend because I could never get the printer to shut off.
No.
We ran it for 4 or 5 days straight.
But I will say that somebody reached out to us as well on the look tools, what do we call them? Pick pointers, because I had used them in my pictures on eBay, and she had bought something from me, and she says, "Hey, where do you have these at?" So we had to hurry up and put them on eBay so that they could purchase them from there because we didn't want to give out our website on.
Yeah, we
didn't want to get in trouble.
We couldn't find a good way to send our website to somebody on eBay that we weren't going to risk the account for it. So we set those up on eBay.
But yeah, it's awesome just having those little things that are additional bonuses.
I think, long story short, after our last video when we started talking about ordering a second 3D printer, this weekend kind of pushed us over the edge for that because I literally could not keep up with the printing. I had a queue of things that needed printing, and I ran the printer for 3-4 days straight without shutting off. So we did pull the trigger and order a second 3D printer. It is on its way.
Anyway, so yes, he did go through. He ordered, and he had just ordered filament for it. For the printer he has. So he went through and ordered a second 3D printer as well as filament, the entire setup that he had. And then he says, "Oh yeah, by the way, that'll be here April 3rd.
Yeah, I was like,
completely? Really? That's a long time.
And I know a lot of people are not interested in 3D printing, and that's fine. And it really has, the only reason we really bring it up in this is because kind of having our everything store kind of showed us some things that we were interested in, we liked, and we spun it off to a niche store. Now, once we had the niche store, we started seeing holes in that niche store that we could fill with 3D printing and creating our own products. And I think once you get down to a niche store, they really open up a lot of opportunities to kind of build your own products that are replenishable. And that's relevant to this video because we don't have to source those. So we absolutely, the only thing I got to do is go pull up a file and hit print, and we can, the printer sources them for us. We're not going out looking for the product. So we're having those products that are just replenishable on demand. And I think a niche store gives you that where an everything store doesn't.
Yep.
They both have their pros and cons. We're not advocating you go start a niche store and get out of your everything store. It's not that at all. It's just that kind of created an opportunity that we moved into. So, and it's made sourcing for that store. Actually, I think this week was the first week ever in that niche store. Over the weekend, we had 9 sales, I think.
7.
7
sales?
sales?
Well, 8 technically, because one was a two quantity. Yep.
We had 8 sales, and I made more net profit from our own products
than you did.
Than I did off the niche products I was selling, which is a very good thing. So, because I had very little cost in them. All right, let's move on. What else sold?
We sold Star Wars. These next 2 items are both Star Wars. I apologize in advance, but I'm not apologizing. But this is a Hasbro Galoob 2008.
How do you apologize without apologizing?
I don't know. It's a Star Wars Titanium Series die-cast TIE Defender figure.
Yep, that's what it is right there.
But it sold for $44.99.
All right, so next we have an old, kind of off-white. It started to fade in yellow here. An old X-Wing, right? That's an X-Wing.
Yep, that's a 1978 General Mills Kenner original Star Wars X-Wing fighter.
So it's R2.
Yeah, it's supposed to make noise and light up. The light does work, but I don't know how it makes noise. So I put in there that the light works only.
Okay, what did that guy sell for?
$86.99. I like that one. Even though I will tell you, I had a conversation with somebody. So since we're on the subject of Star Wars real quick, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about how I am beyond over Star Wars. Like, I'm ready to go back and list miscellaneous stuff.
I kind of became a Star Wars fan because of this buy. We went through and we watched every movie in chronological order. I watched all the spin-offs. And then listing the stuff, you start recognizing the characters in the ships. Like, I kind of became a Star Wars fan just from this buy, which I think was kind of cool.
And talking to my brother, I also found out he's a Star Wars fan.
Which one?
Rick. He asked me if I had a Falcon. And I'm like, I have
like
little
8 of
mini.
them?
No, he wants an original.
Oh, we have the
carry cases.
Oh, sure, he wants the most expensive
He wants
one.
the original. He's like, did you see what those are going for? I'm like, yeah, I had an opportunity to have one, but it was sniped from underneath.
We were supposed to have. We negotiated a deal that included one.
We did. But that's okay.
All right, so replenishable products. I could see the replenishable products kind of spinning off into their own business on this.
I can and I can't. I have no, what's the right word? Engineering ability to figure it out.
That's the cool thing. I don't think you have to engineer your own. I don't think it has to be 3D printing related at all. I don't think you have to build something. I think the point is, with these niche stores, I'm starting to kind of drift back into the old e-commerce world where things were a little more cut and dry, where you source a product or build a product and you sell a product, but you're not going out and having to hunt for every product. Like when we ran our big e-commerce store, we never had to worry about where our next product was coming from.
No, we just went out because they'd create their own products within the vendors that we dealt with, and we just have new products to add to it.
Yep. Our biggest job at that point was actually to look at our store overall and say, okay, we sell these 10 items. Mm-hmm. If somebody buys one of these 10 items, what's the next problem they have? Say we sell a toilet. What's the next problem you have if you own a toilet? Well, now you need toilet paper. You might need a plunger.
Hold on. But if I'm going back to our roots, if we sell them a composting toilet, what do they need? They need special toilet paper.
Yep.
They need cocoa fiber or peat moss for a medium to put in their composting toilet.
That conversation, what we just did, where we say, okay, we sold them a product. What's the next problem? What problem did buying this product create for them? That conversation is one we used to have all the time.
Yeah, and then we'd sell them the composter so they can compost their poo.
Yep. So moving away from toilets now, that is the way a business kind of evolves and moves forward, and that is something we could never do in eBay reselling because we sell everything. Mm-hmm. The next problem is always, where's the next product? What are we going to sell next? Because we don't have it. And in this business, it's very hard to do what we just did. But when we move to the niche stores, we start seeing that opportunity again. So just moving into like the Ephemera Store where we're selling stereo views and postcards, immediately I had the same problem every collector has. If I buy 100 stereo views, how the heck am I going to store them? Mm-hmm. So I had to solve that problem. I either had to go out and buy the right size box, the right size Tupperware tote, have something created that fixes that problem, or create something myself that fixes that.
That's my cuckoo.
Teresa's got the
cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So now we got that problem. So that's what we did. We created a tray that holds, 20 stereo views per tray up to 100 views in one tray. And it's great for collectors and it's great for storing and selling. And we've been selling a lot of them.
We have been.
So now we can actually do that for a niche store. Another example where you don't have to create the product. What if Teresa started a fragrance store? What if you started a store that sold just like Bath & Body Works and lotions and perfumes?
What about it?
Another thing you could have for your own product is like artisanal soap and stuff, kind of like Harry Tornado did, but you could get it branded yourself.
Would I have to make it?
No. You could buy
Oh, you're talking white labeling.
You could find somebody that made it and white label it.
Yep, you're talking white labeling.
But then you have a product that's you never have to hunt for anymore. It's replenishable and you just buy as many as you want. Yes
and no.
Why no?
Because what happens if it's a smaller business and they go out of business and then you don't have soap at all?
Why would you go to worst case scenario?
I don't know.
Don't do that.
I don't know. That's what popped in
There
my
are
head.
major warehouses in the US that do nothing but create one type of product to white label for other people. You could buy soap from a reputable maker and have it be your own soap, for example. So that's one example of where you don't have to create the product, but because you have that store that centers in that niche, you can build a product of your own and start building a business off that product.
Gotcha. Speaking of businesses.
Speaking of.
Should I spill the beans?
Go ahead.
Teresa has come up with a store name and what I'm going to sell.
Tell the people what you're going to sell.
Tell people what I'm going to sell. It's like bling bling, like jewelry, watches, rings, tie clips, tie tacks, cufflinks, everything that makes you sparkle.
Sparkle butt jeans?
No, those can't go in there. Those can't go in there. But I struggled really hard, like coming up with a name. I know Cory says the name is the last part that you need, but I can't do it without knowing a name of what I'm going to become.
A lot of people get stuck on the name, and it's just not that
I
important.
didn't though. I looked it up. I went rounds and rounds with ChatGPT, just so you know. I went rounds and rounds with ChatGPT, and I came up with one. And it is going to be Dapper and Dazzle Emporium.
There it is. And now that you have that store where you're going to sell pins and watches and jewelry and sparkly things, you can start solving problems within that small little niche.
I was just thinking about it too. Like, how do people store all their tie clips?
How do they?
How do they store their cufflinks?
Now, what if you are a collector of those things and you want to store them but display them, not just throw them in a box?
That's what I was saying.
That's a whole nother product.
Man.
You see how you could kind of build a business off of a niche store?
I'm just not telling y'all my idea because I have one in my head.
A niche store really allows you to kind of build a real business off of it.
Yep.
And that's what I'm really liking now about the Ephemera store is I'm literally using List Easier to list $1,000 a day worth of ephemera that cost me very little to get and very little time to list now because of List Easier. And that's my secondary product. I'm putting it on there just to draw in the customers that are the collectors of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So that I could solve one of their other problems, and I'm making more money and better money off of my product than I am the ephemera.
Off of our products.
Now, that's a win every day of the week.
I know, I say I have nothing to do with your thing, and then I want credit.
You can have credit.
I'm sorry.
That is a win every day of the week. So I could see this spinning off and building businesses off of niche stores, and that's exciting to me. That's why it's in this video. I was excited. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I know you hate talking about this.
I didn't have issues with it. I was thinking on the lines too.
All right, let's look at what's sold next.
We sold something that was not Star Wars that came from our Star Wars buy. I don't know which side is up.
That's a true statement.
Just be gentle.
Okay, let's see if I could do this without tipping anything out of it. Probably not. Okay, so it is a Titanic. It is signed, right?
It is not signed.
It's
it is
not
numbered.
signed, but it's got a piece of the film strip in there.
Yep, it is it's a brand called Willits that makes them. It's a 1998 Titanic movie print lithograph of their poster, like their movie poster. It is lighted behind the film cell, and it has a film cell. It is numbered, but it sold not long after I listed it, probably 2 weeks, and it sold for $124.99. I still do have one. If somebody's looking for a Star Wars one, I got a Star Wars one. But I might just go knock down my price on it currently.
The Star Wars one is signed, isn't it? One of them was signed.
Yes, the Star Wars one is signed, and it's signed by, I think it's signed by like Chewbacca or C3PO or one of those people.
Next, we have a taser.
It looks like a taser. I don't know what it is. It powers on. That's what I put.
It says it's a manometer.
It's a Dwyer Series 475 Mark III digital manometer. It says up to max 10 psi. I think it's a pressure tester of some type. I have 2 of them.
Somebody knew what it was and they bought it. How much did that sell for?
$44.99.
All right, I think that's it for this video. We do have a ton of packing to do. It's Monday.
And we got to get to UPS before it closes.
I feel like I'm already worn out. Like, we have to pack this huge mixer board that Teresa decided to sell.
I didn't put that one in the thing, but it did sell for $200. I just wanted rid of it, so I took an offer at 50% off because it was taking up a lot of space.
I got to go build a box that's the size of my pickup now.
It's not the size you pick up.
Ick. So
we'll have to make sure we do this
we've
side
got
up.
a lot. This side. Oh, so the buttons stay up?
Yes.
I'll pack it good enough to where it won't matter.
Still.
But all right, we're going to get out of here. We will see you guys next time.
Hasta la vista, baby.